tide appears to be turning in Ukraine after more than 200 days of bloody and grueling fighting. Ukrainian officials say its forces have made big gains in their blitz of the country's south and especially northeast, and particularly in the Kharkiv region. See the blue on the map here? That represents the land Ukrainian forces have taken back since they started their counteroffensive 2 weeks ago. In some places, Ukrainian troops have pushed Russian forces all the way back to the northeast border. Ukrainian officials say its military has freed more than 20 settlements in the past 24 hours, though reports from journalists on the ground say there is still fighting. Blue and yellow Ukrainian flags fluttered over liberated towns and villages in the Kharkiv region. This video shows troops shouting "Glory to Ukraine" after they tore down a billboard featuring a Russian flag. Another video shows a Ukrainian mayor ripping a Russian flag in two with a knife. Now, Putin's war machine has responded with deadly missile strikes. Ukrainian officials say the attacks last night hit not military targets, but critical infrastructure in Kharkiv and other civilian targets. This video shows firefighters battling flames at a power plant. Ukrainian officials say the missile strikes knocked out electricity in the city and several other regions for hours. Another Russian missile strike slammed into a residential building. Ukrainian officials say the attack killed at least one person. The mayor of Kharkiv called the attacks vile and cynical revenge for Ukraine's military advances. The Kremlin insists it will not back down. Putin's spokesman told reporters just today that their so-called special military operation in Ukraine will continue until all the goals that were originally set are achieved. Michael McFaul, now former U.S. ambassador to Russia. Michael, thanks so much. The war, obviously far from over, of course, but how important are these particular gains?
Well, first, they're spectacular. Nobody predicted it, and they're going on the move. Second, these are the biggest victories since the war, the Battle of Kiev, if you remember that several months ago, when we also predicted that the Russians would take the capital. They didn't. I think this is the second biggest victory after that. And third, after a long status quo stalemate of artillery shells going back and forth, long-range fires, it felt like this war was going to drag on. This suggests that maybe it won't drag on, that this counteroffensive might be successful. And I think it's the kind of shot in the arm that the Ukrainians need to try to fight this war to the end.
You know, Michael, Francis Fukuyama said today in the Journal of Democracy, if Ukraine can regain military momentum before the end of the year, it'll be much easier for leaders of Western democracies to argue that their people should tighten their belts over the coming winter. In other words, pay the high energy costs and hope for a Russian defeat. What do you think?
Well, Frank's my colleague here at Stanford. He's always right. And I actually don't think that. I think the Ukrainians knew this. I think they needed some victories so that they could inspire us here in the United States and Europe to provide them with the more weapons they need and the economic assistance as well. I don't think it was just by accident that they were doing this at this time.
You know, officials from at least 18 Russian districts have issued a rare public statement demanding that Vladimir Putin step down. Pro-war bloggers within Russia are even slamming the military operation as a failure. Are you worried that Putin may hear all of this and do something extraordinary to try to turn this around?
Well, first, this public debate, I think it's been going on privately for many months inside Russia, but now it's out in the open. And even on Russian government-controlled television stations, you're now having people pointing fingers. Who's at fault here? Is it the generals? Is it the intelligence officers? Never Vladimir Putin, of course. He can never be wrong. But it's a kind of debate that I haven't seen since the beginning of the war. Will he go to something drastic like a nuclear weapon? I personally don't think so. Of course, I'm just guessing. I'm speculating. But I think doing something really drastic would make him a pariah around the world. Remember, we think he's a pariah already here in the United States. They do in Europe as well, but they don't in China. They don't in the Middle East. They don't in lots of parts of the global South. If he did something like using a nuclear weapon, I think that makes him even more isolated, and therefore I don't think he'll do it.
Michael McFaul, thanks very much.